it's Leanne and welcome to my first ever video shot on my brand new camera. So you are a little bit closer than I would ideally like you, not that I'm not saying we have a close relationship, but maybe not this close. Of course, if you have any tips or tricks, or if you have any comments about the audio quality or the framing or anything like that, then please leave them down below in the comments, because I am very much a novice at this still, and you know, I would welcome any constructive feedback. Essentially, what I thought it was a really good idea to do was to leave all of my new acquisitions to pile up down here on the floor in my study, and to split them into nice categories. Categories was what I was going with, so I was going to do a nice literary fiction haul and a crime corner haul and a fantasy haul, and now they're just taking over the place. There are a lot of books to get through here, guys. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do as many hauls as it takes to get them all off my floor and all on my shelves, and then there's probably gonna end up being an unhaul, because let's be real, I don't have enough shelf space for all of these at this point. As the wonderful Sophie Carlon says, at least it's not drugs, right? So the first book that I have here is actually a beautiful second-hand copy, because I was very precise about the edition that I wanted in, mainly because the other editions were fugly. And this is The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver. This is going to be my third Lionel Shriver book that I own, but only going to be the second that I have read once I get around to it. My first book was We Need to Talk About Kevin, which is one of my favourite books ever, let's be real. So I had seen this one about, spotted it quite a while ago, and then it was the wonderful Mercy, I believe, from Mercy's Bookish Musings, who mentioned that this was one of her favourite Lionel Shriver books, and so I was like, that will do, thank you, ta. So essentially this book is about Erna McGovern. She is leading a fairly stable life with a fairly unstable husband who she's been with for quite a while. And then at a dinner party one day, after many dinner parties with this same individual over many years, she gets the sudden urge to kiss this friend, and that decision changes the course of her life, and that is where the narrative splits. And then we see her kissing the guy and what her life would be like if she kissed him, and not kissing him, and what her life would be like if she stayed with her husband. And it tells, I believe, in alternative chapters, this story over a very long, this book is huge, 600 pages, but I am super excited for it. Speaking of the wonderful Sophie Carlon, the next book that I have to show you is Nutshell by Ian McEwan, which is nuts, if you'll pardon the rather obvious pun. This narrative is essentially from the point of a fetus, or I suppose you still call it, do you still call it a fetus if it's 9 months old? As long as it hasn't been born? I don't know. I don't know anything about that biological aspect of humanity, and I would like to keep it that way. Either way, said fetus's mother, Trudy, has left said fetus's father, John, and Trudy has now shacked up with John's brother, Claude, and they are now hatching a pretty nefarious scheme to which the only witness is said fetus, and so it's told from fetus's point of view. I don't know whether I'm horrified or whether I'm delighted. We'll find out when I read it, I guess. The next book that I have here was lovingly sent to me by Vintage when I begged for a copy, and it is New Boy by Tracy Chevalier. This is the next book, the latest book in the Hogarth Shakespeare series, which is a retelling of quite a lot of the well-known Shakespeare plays. And this one is a retelling of Othello. By the way, my 3 favourite Shakespeare plays in order are Othello, Macbeth and Coriolanus. Not only is this book absolutely beautiful, both inside and out, but it is also a modern commentary on race set in the 1950s. Bear with me. This is about Osei Kokote, who is the son of a foreign ambassador, and so he has travelled to a lot of schools in the last little while, and now he has ended up in a Washington schoolyard at his 4th school this year, thoroughly out of sorts and a fish out of water, and there he meets the beautiful white D, who is one of the, if not the most popular girl in school, and they strike up a fairly fast friendship. Except there always has to be an Iago in Othello, and said Iago, this time known as Ian, decides that he does not like this budding friendship, and so in the course of 24 hours he sets out to destroy possibly them both. Cannot wait. The next book that I have here is one that I'm not going to talk very much about because I've already unboxed it and all of the goodies that came with it on camera for you guys, and that is Not Working by Lisa Owens. It sounds hilarious. The next book that I have here was one that Helen actually spotted and put into my hands. I like it when Helen recommends me a book because it doesn't happen often. Usually my lovely wife says, tell me which books to buy, and I do, and she likes them, and that is the way that that relationship works. This one is Stum by Jem Lester. Stum is about Jonah, who is a 10-year-old boy, and I quite like narratives from the point of view of younger children, but told in adult literary fiction. So 10-year-old Jonah is autistic. He likes colours, he likes soft things, he dislikes loud noises, and he has never been toilet trained at 10 years old. And his parents have made their last ditch effort, the last bit of effort that they feel that they have, which is to get him into a sensory need, a secondary school which they feel would be able to meet Jonah's needs. And then that request in the very first 3 pages is turned down, and their entire world just crumbles. Along the same vein as that one, I have finally been persuaded by many people, Mercy included, to pick up My Name is Leon by Kit DeWall, which is very like Stum in that it comes from a young child's point of view, but it has commentary on much more far-reaching adult matters. So it's 1981, love it, love a book set in the 80s. In Britain, it is serious nostalgia for my childhood. So 1981, and Leon and his little brother Jake have gone to live with Maureen. Maureen is a social services worker. She is a foster parent, and little does Leon know, but his mother has had to give up her parental rights. And over the course of the next little while, we follow the two as Jake starts to go into the process of being adopted, and Leon doesn't, because Jake is white and Leon is not. And finally, for this part of the literary fiction haul, because I'm going to have to split it in two because there are so many books, this is yet another beautiful book. These matches are embossed, the end pages are crossword puzzles, and this is the most gorgeous colour of orange that I have ever seen in my life. So this is all about Eleanor, who is almost 30, has worked in the same job for her entire life, wears the same clothes to work, eats the same food every week, goes to the same places, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka at the weekend to consume. And she does not like change, in case you couldn't guess. And then there is a random act of kindness visited upon Eleanor out of the blue, and she is not impressed because, in case you hadn't guessed, Eleanor doesn't like change very much. Change is bad, and this random act of kindness means a lot of change indeed. So that's everything that I've got for this time around. We got through almost the whole video without any camera mishaps, but again, if you did notice anything, let me know in the comments. Please let me know whether you have purchased or read any of these wonderful books, and whether you would like to now, and maybe, you know, this one, and we can like read it together, and won't be quite so intimidating being 600 pages, but oh, I'm looking forward to it. I will see you guys very soon. Bye!